Just a quick book placement, product placement for my books under the author name Derek Hemingway. First, we have the first installment in The Human Saga, which is my epic trilogy of novellas about a future civilization of corporate fascism that is being invaded by an alien cult. We have The Mortician's Daughter, a dark fantasy set in Mesoamerica about a sorceress who blocks out the sun to create a kingdom of darkness and evil, full of ghosts and monsters. It's fucking awesome. Part 2 of The Human Saga, and then Part 3. There's currently my first full-length novel in the works, so be on the lookout for that. That's about all. Song Snob Reacts. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Song Snob. And today we are going to be doing another song that was recommended by a commenter. We are doing Time Is Up by Poppy. Poppy, that'll put him to sleep. Wizard of Oz reference. Never thought I'd do that. It was a fun little children's film by MGM made way back in the day. Very campy. Very campy. Some people think camp is bad. I say camp is good. Just look at the Emperor from Star Wars. You know, there is a bit of a fine line. But anyway, suffice to say, I think this is probably going to be a pop song, and knowing me, with my channel's roots, we're analyzing pop music and saying it was shit. Because it is shit. And this is probably going to be shit if it's pop. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it's not. I am nothing if not fair. So with that being said, let us proceed. We will be reacting to Poppy in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
In the factory, in the sterile place where they made me, I woke up alone, dizzy from the programming. Have I been wiped again? Oh my God, I don't even know. It's a mystery. your time is up. Baby, your time is up. Baby, your time is up. Baby, your time is up. Time is up. Time is up. Baby, your time is up. Baby, your time is up.
I actually ended up liking that better than I thought I would. Quite a bit, actually. I have to admit that as a rock and roll / heavy metal kind of guy, this is a synth pop is a guilty pleasure of mine, especially 80s synth pop. Look up Information Society. I really like Information Society. And fun fact, if you ever play Soul Reaver, the original Legacy of Kain series, Information Society composed the main theme to Soul Reaver. Ozar Midrashim, that was them. Which is weird because it sounded really different from them. But Poppy definitely is modern synth pop, although it has 80s style synth keys incorporated into it. At first I thought this wasn't going to be sufficiently robust with enough sections and all that. And it was going to sound kind of empty. But it didn't. During the verses, yes, but during the choruses, then they added keys and vocals, keys and backing vocals and more stuff. And I think that they did that on purpose. They had the verses being a little emptier so you can hear the vocal line better, and so that you would value the choruses more because they would be more robust, and the contrast would create appreciation. That, I think, is extremely clever. There's an extremely clever musicality to this that I absolutely love. I would listen to this again if I was in the right mood. Like, if no one's around, because, like I said, guilty pleasure. I do like synth pop, actually. Tell no one or I kill you. So, with that being said, I'd say that the length was appropriate to the amount of content available. The chorus repeats were not excessive, or the repeated sections were not excessive. They had the right number of verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It is relatively simplistic, but I think that's pretty much fine for what it is. Trying to think if there's anything I would say is wrong with this. Yeah, actually, there is one thing. The drum beat sucks. The drum beat is not very robust. It's a pretty simple, straight two-step beat. And I would say that the overall sound of it is a bit overproduced. So I give it a 4 out of 5. For just maybe being a bit too overly simplistic. Which I do have that as part of my criteria. Excess simplicity. Other than that, for what it is, I think it's really good. So let's take a look at the lyrics. I'm thinking this is looking like a pretty fairly typical, like sort of pro-environmentalist kind of tune. I had a really hard time keeping my body temperature where I want it. It's going from warm to hot in here right now. Or not. It's going from cold to hot. Skips over warm. I'm taking my jacket on and off and all that. Good grief. Okay, so verse 1. In the factory, in the sterile place where they made me, I woke up alone, dizzy from the programming. Have I been wiped again? Oh my god, I don't even know. So, I'm thinking she's saying that she's an android or a test tube baby. Both of those things are probably going to be very much a thing in the future. And you're dizzy from the programming, you wake up alone. Either that or she was an already living person, and making her means that they made her into a new person. Have I been wiped again? That would suggest that she's just been made into a new person by some authority. It's a mystery. Everyone around me so busy. Is this my home? Am I your prisoner or your deliverer? Oh my god, you don't even know. Yeah, you don't even know what she's doing there. She's just part of a mysterious process of transformation and rebirth, forced rebirth into something someone else wants her to be, I'm assuming, is her point. Talking about the generalizations about society. Well, everyone's always trying to make other people into something they want. They want them to be reflections of them. They want you to be like them. Many people are. Those are the people who want control. I don't need air to breathe when you kill the bees, and every riverbed is dry as a bone. Oh, I will still survive when the plants have died, and the atmosphere is just a big hole. No, you won't, unless you're an artificial android of some kind. Well, yeah, the bees have been losing population quite a bit due to excess use of harmful pesticides. Riverbeds are mostly safe. You don't really see diminishing rivers as much. You mostly see deforestation and bees disappearing for the most part. And of course, good old air pollution. You know, going to a city like Beijing is basically a death sentence if you have asthma. I would definitely say that she's going for more of an older, more Captain Planet style activism, which is fine because that's more real to me. Climate change is a natural process. It's going to happen anyway. If you look at the fossil record, you've seen that it's actually happened multiple times before. It's nothing new. But pollution is the greater problem, is the greater threat. You got acid rain, you got barely breathable air. I mean, that shit's as real as it gets. You know, tree planting campaigns have done quite a bit, and maybe science can invent like an air filter that cleans the air. I would really be in support of that. I'd donate money to a project like that. Chorus, baby, your time is up. You know, it's a repeated phrase. Baby, your time is up is the post-chorus. So the chorus is just one phrase. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a point away for that. You can't just have your chorus be one phrase. I'm so sorry. Verse 2, exponentially every day I'm growing my memory. You wouldn't believe your life is meaningless. You're just like cockroaches. Extermination's your only hope. Human history, pollution, and overcrowded cities, that's your legacy, but don't look so depressed. You'll soon be nothingness. Oh my god, you don't even know. Pre-chorus, the pre-chorus. Okay, so the chorus lyrics are excessive, right? It's just a repeating phrase. Got to take a point for that. It's also a little bit vague, but maybe not so important that whether she's just a reprogrammed human or like an android. I'm thinking reprogrammed human, and I'm going to go with that conclusion. Not taking a point for that. Because I think it's obvious if somewhat vague. Yes, the meaning in the lyrics matters. I count that as criteria. You have to be clear. You can't be overly vague. The pessimistic view is something I kind of agree with. Human beings really have become very miserable creatures. And I more or less like what this song has to say. Lyrically, I'm going to grade this as a 4 out of 5. Far too many repeated phrases in the chorus, but at the same time, the rhyme scheme is deceptively clever. It's more about the flow than the rhymes themselves. And flow is really good in music because if it has a limerical flow, it works better in the timing of the music. The words fit the time, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's absolutely perfect in that way. I have noticed that pop music is getting better, right? It's upgraded itself from the trash of the late 20th century and the early 2000s, and we've now seen the rise of better pop stars like Billie Eilish and a few others that are actually really good. We may actually see popular music sort of become a superior form as time goes on. It's still going to be overly simplistic here and there. That can't necessarily be avoided. Connoisseurs like moi are just going to have to get used to being alienated. So it's a 4 out of 5 all around, Poppy. And I get your message. I get it. You know, it kind of sucks what human beings are doing to the environment, and we have gotten very stupid and very foolish. But I think that's honestly just human nature at this point. We've really gotten ahead of ourselves because of all we've accomplished. Like, look at all our accomplishments. It's like, yeah, look at all your vulnerabilities. Look at all your weaknesses. There's two sides to the coin. There's heads and tails. You got to look at them both. Yes, we've accomplished greatness. We've also accomplished a lot of horribleness, too. And you got to deal with that as you go along. Suffice to say, environmentalism of a more peaceful sort with a greater focus on pollution, I think, is going to be the way forward. Now that we see how nuts the climate activists have become with Extinction Rebellion and so forth. Now that we see that being more of a thing. People who think more like Poppy are becoming more appealing. So I think the solution really is just being kinder to nature and not being so negligent of nature's needs, because at the end of the day, we're subject to it, not the other way around. We need to be more respectful. For every tree that is chopped down, we should plant a seed. And for all the air pollution, we should start planting more trees and possibly create some kind of air filtration device. Right? And be more kind to the ecosystem and be more of a part of it rather than trying to live separate from the land. I mean, I am an animist. I believe in an animistic worldview. That would make me pretty similar to the thoughts and feelings of Native Americans and pagans in general, because I agree with their view of the world. This whole man is master of the world thing is a toxic idea. Sorry about the little diatribe. It should have been more about the music. I get like that sometimes. I mean, I do have a second channel, a political channel called That Heathen Bastard. I recommend you look that up on YouTube and BitChute. Grow my subs! With that being said, there will be a link in the description below to my other channel and to my books. Please buy, download, read them, and as always, choose peace.